Welcome to the Melbourne Content Studio. I'm your host, Vic Walker, and each episode I speak to business owners and creatives about all things marketing and content creation to get you inspired and to grow. So let's dive in. If you want to succeed as a photographer, this is the video for you. Yeah, that's my hook.
All right, okay, here we go.
Okay, so I've got Fiona here. Tell me a bit about your business.
Yeah, well, I'm Fiona from Fiona Sexton Photography. I specialise in allied health photography, so that meaning that I work with brands such as physios, osteos, naturopaths, chiropractors, dietitians, and the like.
So did you come from a allied health background?
Yeah, so that's sort of how my two worlds sort of aligned. I was actually a physio by trade for quite a few years, like 20 years.
Yeah.
Always had an interest in photography, and then about 5-6 years ago decided to finally bite the bullet and study my diploma.
Wow.
So I did that, and then that was more just as a creative side of things, and just building my interest in photography. But I knew that I wanted to do it in a business sense as well. And so the first couple of years I was trying a bit of everything, and some family stuff, but I sort of organically just started contacting some other ex-friends and stuff like that.
That's where your networking is.
My networking, and then just suddenly went, wait a second, this makes sense.
Yeah,
these are my people. I'm I'm not really into the corporate
and you
stuff
understand
as such.
it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I understood, the background, what it's like to work in the business, the flow, and also just when you say, oh, you get it, you can't really quantify what that actually means. But when, as soon as you say to someone, they're like, oh yeah, I used to be physio, they're like, and they're like a naturopath, and they go, all right, so you understand health. I'm like, yeah, I know what it's like.
Yes.
Clinics and this and the type of clients that you're seeing and the type of images that you'll need and who you're trying to attract and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So,
And niching is such a clever thing to do. The riches are in the niches, I think.
It's something that it's taken a bit to really own it and really go all in. So I was sort of doing it, but I'd still try to play it safe and do some of the other stuff. And it's not saying I still do shoots and events and some corporate stuff. But I'm putting all my heart and soul into allied health now. I've just rebranded. I've just got a brand new website.
Right.
And I'm
You mean like rebranded in terms of the name of your business?
No, the name's still the same, but it was just my colours and logos and messaging and everything is all really honed into allied health. So that's just been in the last sort of 6 months.
Well, I think with businesses in general, you just learn as you go along, and you just move to what works for you, and you pivot. Like you have to pivot really quickly, and you have to see the opportunities.
Well, I didn't probably know straight away, and again, I'm glad I started like anyone else. So you just had to start. I did my own website, and I'm glad I did that. I had to learn all these things along the way to know when I was ready to step up.
Yes.
And now I'm like, right, this is now when I need help, and I got someone to help me with my website and all that stuff, and I'm like, my branding, and I'm like, okay, now this is the way that we're heading. So I'm sort of in the next trajectory now of my business, how it's sort of evolving, but it's getting that, confidence to go all in. It's pretty full on.
Oh no, I think it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I think you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start before you're ready. You can't wait till you've got everything perfect, because you just don't know if it's perfect or not. You might change. You might think, oh yeah, this is not the direction that I want, and I've spent all this money on this marketing and all this stuff, this messaging, and then you realize actually I want it like this.
Yeah, if I did if I got all this help with the website early and
it'll be all wrong.
Then I went, oh, okay, I wasn't ready. So I needed to do that, make mistakes, figure out, do this more. But now I've photographed over 100 allied health businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's still continually evolving. So I'm figuring out what their needs are and what where the industry's heading and where marketing and branding is going for these businesses as well.
Yeah.
So, and how I can adapt to best serve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like when I try and write a business plan for a new business, by the time I finish my business plan, it's obsolete.
Yeah.
I see that you do a lot of your own content, and that's really important, because you're building your own personal brand, and I think
Absolutely.
like people work with someone that they know, like, and trust, and for you to show up online, people feel like they know you and you're really authentic. I've watched your stories and your posts, and you know, you include your life and all that stuff, and so people really know who they're getting. Like, how important is that for you?
Absolutely. I think it's a real balance of having, you know, the real professional stuff, the slick content, you know, the professional images, which I had my own brand images done as well, incorporating that into your education pieces, your pain points, your, you know, frequently asked questions, all that sort of stuff, your promotions, but then you still need to mix and match with the personality and the real person, because I want people to know is what you see is what you get.
Yes.
There's no surprises.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like
people want to work with you because they think you're fun and relaxed.
yeah, and they want to know that the vibe, and am I going to like this person?
Yeah.
Am I going to feel confident with this person, especially in
Trust. So
photography?
you're going to trust this
Trust,
person.
especially with photography. It's a very vulnerable
Yes,
thing
it
for
is.
people
Yeah.
to be in front of the camera.
Yep.
So if they've, you know, got along
Yeah.
and, you know, I often do a little me dancing,
Yeah,
singing,
yeah.
singing in the car on the way to the shoot, but that's the way to, you know, pep me up. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
for sure.
okay, I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah.
music person.
Yeah.
But so I often say to people, like, okay, my website is where it's like the full information, you get the full package of
Yes.
knowing what I offer.
Yeah.
The Instagram will, like in the feed and stuff, is a real mix and match of like client stories and all the behind the scenes
Yeah.
stuff. And the stories is where you get to know me.
Yes.
And that's just my little chit chat. It might be a bit of
School stuff,
random
sports
school stuff. Look,
Yep.
this is life, you know. I'm still trying to juggle all the things,
Yes.
so I'm not like going to be all, this is me professional all the time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're lucky to get me out of active leave. I actually
Yeah.
put on a jacket today.
Yeah. Most small businesses really need to concentrate on their personal brand, and they don't do that enough, especially the older generation, like our age. We ignore our personal brand and just put the product and the business first. And I think with social media, people wanting to know behind the scenes.
The most content that gets the most likes and stuff is my stupid post
Yeah.
about me not being bothered to go to the gym. Like, I posted something yesterday and I went, oh, okay, look, I'm strength training, and then the ones that get the likes is like, oh yeah, me going, I can't be
it's
going to the,
relatable.
because it's relatable.
Yeah,
it's not like
exactly.
me, I'm going to the gym. It's like, oh,
I know, yeah, I know.
So
I know, you've got to show the
that
not so
balance.
good,
Yeah.
the reality of your life as well. It's not all just picture perfect.
Yeah.
This is my perfect life, my perfect business.
Yeah.
People want to relate to
Yeah.
something real, you know, like you've got struggles as well. You're a real person.
yeah, everyone, you know, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people don't see. They'll see the content I'm putting out, but not the hours at the computer, the frustration, the planning, the overthinking, all that
Yeah.
stuff to put out something. I'm like, man, that was going to take me, you know, 15 minutes, and it took me 2.5 hours
Yeah,
for
I
something.
know.
I'm like, oh
Yeah,
man,
I know.
okay, there's the day gone. Okay, kids are home from school. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. But so things I'm in a big phase of a lot of behind the scenes stuff at the moment,
Yeah.
trying to build some other products. I've moved like client management systems, so my head's
Yeah.
sort of going
Oh,
at the
God,
moment,
yeah.
and it's always
I know.
evolving.
I mean, if you're your own business, your own boss, you've got to wear so many different hats. It's not, you know, people are like, oh, you've got your own business, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
You know, you can choose your hours. It's like they don't know
Look,
that, you know.
I was in a bit of a funks to say the other day, going, oh gosh, and you do question things. You're like, oh my gosh, it's
Is it
spending,
really
it's
worth
spending
it?
so much time. But then I had to reframe, and I went, okay, well, if I was working physio stuff and if I was doing a 9 to 5
Yeah.
job, I wouldn't be able to just drop and go for
No,
a walk
yeah.
or, you know,
Yeah.
do 2 hours of work, go and to the supermarket and then pick up the kids and then come back and do some work later,
Yeah,
or work
yeah.
my day around the photo shoot and still be able to do stuff and have other time for things. So yes, I might be working late sometimes. I'll do some stuff on weekends, but I've then got flexibility during the week. So I sort
Yeah.
of went, okay, if I was doing this other job,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the time to do any
No.
things now.
But it's
So
not.
it's
It's
that-
not for everyone, though.
It's
not for
it's
everyone.
a lot of, you know, everything you get is from everything you put in.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
I'm working to midnight at night and I'm sitting there while my husband's watching Netflix, but I'm on the computer just sitting with him while he's watching and I'm working.
Yeah.
Or just before I'm going out, I'm like, just quickly just do
Yeah.
this. So,
It's tempting to, you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to
just
find
stop.
the balance.
It's hard to stop. Yeah. And then,
but then if you're motivated and you have a purpose and there's something you're striving for, you just keep going.
Yeah.
And then every now and then, okay, just break.
Yeah. So how do you find time to do your own social media? I mean, that's really constant, isn't it?
It is. It is challenging.
Yeah, because don't you forget? Sometimes you just get on with it and you've forgot to film that.
Yeah. Like I do often forget some of the behind the scenes stuff. I do have sort of my system that I am working with, which ebbs and flows. I try to batch create content, so I would do usually about 3 weeks at a time. So then I don't think about it.
Yeah. So what kind of batch content do you create?
It's more like I'm batching the next 3 weeks of content. So I've actually I've had a spreadsheet that I'd use, and I literally a few days ago I've just changed a whole new thing. Doing some sheets in Canva, but it's I'd be looking at doing some I'll go, okay, for this month I might do some behind the scenes, make sure I do a client story, I might do a FAQ, I might do, again, mixing it up between posts, carousels, reels, and at different stages of the client journey. So it's making sure there is some, there might be some promotion in there, some awareness, some consideration. But looking at the type of content, whether it be, as I said, post, reels, whatever, and then mixing it up with some evergreen sort of like educational stuff for people to get to know me, again, those FAQs, but also showing client transformations. So I've sort of got different topics that I can sort of pick and choose there. But then also people love seeing behind the scenes and love seeing like client shoot results. So you want to sort of say, these are the types of shoots and pain points, like how I can help you and what are your problems. So it's sort of that sort of formula. And for me, 4 times a week has worked. So I just go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So that might change a little bit, but that's what works in my head. And then I can keep that consistent. If I wanted to do 5 days a week or 3, then 7. So I think for me, I know if I do that and I miss one or two here and there, or just throw in a random one when I'm on a shoot, that's fine.
Or when you have an idea, you're like, this is a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Something comes and I'm like, I'll do that. So look, I do generally plan it out, but then there'll be bits that sort of come in. But
are you on TikTok or just Instagram?
No, just Instagram. I haven't quite ventured into TikTok. Even like even just like the Facebook, I'm not sort of smashing there. It's sort of more
just Instagram. Instagram. I'm more on TikTok than I am on Instagram. I have to admit, like, I'm a lot less cautious about TikTok than I am on Instagram. I don't know why. Like, I'm trying to show up a little bit more on Instagram. I'm fine with all my other businesses. Like, I've got 3. This business, the UGC and the content business. I've just been a little bit unsure what to post on Instagram. But on TikTok, like, I'm so comfortable on TikTok.
I just haven't been as familiar with it and just haven't had the interest to go into another platform. And I suppose where I'm at the moment, a lot of my people are going to be
on Instagram.
Are going to be on more
for
Instagram.
Sure.
So I'd probably sort of stick with that one.
No, fair enough.
I've got enough to learn at the moment.
I know, right?
Another thing. Look, there is potential in LinkedIn as well.
Yes,
from another
LinkedIn
corporate.
is good.
And I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't actively.
With your work, is it mainly inbound? Like, do you get people approaching you, or is it you go out and look for work? How do you network?
Look, that's playing the long game.
Is it?
Yeah. So I it's a bit of both. Like, I've got to actively go out and reach, because like, again, being in this sort of niche.
How do you actively go out? Emails or visiting them?
Look, how I originally started, like how many years ago. And again, it's quite funny. I think back, it was quite naive, but very brave. Like, because I didn't know what I didn't know. I actually
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance was bliss. I walked around and like went, "Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm a photographer. Would you like a photo shoot?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" But there was one particular business, an osteo business, that by chance, it ended up being a bit of a turning point. That they were like, we were just talking about that, and then I walked in the door.
Right place.
Right time, right place. I'm probably more cautious now doing that than I was a few years ago. It's quite funny. I'm reaching out to clients directly, but I'm now looking at sort of next tier, sort of
ads.
Reaching out to ads. I'm actually I did an ad last year for the first time. that was great to get interest and get people to my page and then onto my list, and then I could be nurturing them along the way. That was successful. I'm about to just launch another ad in a few weeks.
Is that Meta Ads or Google Ads?
Meta Ads.
Yes.
So I'll be going through that process, but I'm also looking at, I suppose it's around collaborations with like web designers, coaches, like allied health coaches and business coaches whose client group are allied health professionals who might need work with their marketing, and their marketing comes their branding, which then comes to photos. So that's like, rather than knocking on doors here, I'm going to try to be getting to people
more
here.
Efficient, more efficient
so
working.
That's the next step.
Definitely.
But then people meet me from, networking stuff through school connections and through Instagram as well. I'm active on that, and I often leave voice messages and talk to people and stuff. So it's a bit of a blend where people come from.
I know now that the allied health industry are starting to recognise more that they need the marketing help. Once they just think, it's just word of mouth. Do you find that change? Have you noticed that change?
With allied health professionals sort of
wanting more marketing, more online marketing.
It's hard, and it depends, I suppose, on the level of the allied health business. It's such a massive industry, and there's some allied health clinics that are big and fancy and lots of clinicians, and that's a big sparkly object, and they're like, they're more high end, they need stuff. But then you've got single practitioners that work out of a room at a GP clinic. So but they still need to promote themselves. So it's depending on the level of which people want to be involved in that sort of marketing, or need to be, or how they're going to do it. Like some it's going to be, this is going to be a whole process. We're going to have marketing person, and this is
and you have to educate them.
And the look and educate. Or is it, this is one of the physios that likes doing a bit of this on the side, and that's then becomes their other thing for the team. So it just depends again how they want to portray themselves. Is it in that real slick professional sort of look, educational, be a leader in this, or is like we're the fun sort of people, or both?
I feel like the fun people are just so much more engaging to watch. I find, especially with social media, I think, I don't know, you might disagree, but I think the more casual, the more authentic is the way to go.
Yeah, and that's the sort of stuff I say with regards to photography and like headshots and stuff. It's not stiff, it's not posed. It'd be basically, you want something that's warm and
relatable.
Relating and
people want to come see you.
Exactly. As a health professional, again, you need that trust. So that first thing you see someone, and then seeing someone that looks all a bit stiff and uptight, you're like, I don't want to tell them about my problems. So
they're not going to be compassionate. They're not going to be empathetic.
Yeah, you want someone to be warm and approachable, and that's what I strive to do in their images, but also speaking with the client and what is their vibe, what are their values, what are important to them, and how do we want to portray that in their images.
True. I think it's all about authenticity and relatability. And like getting back to your own promotion, I think, do you work on the 80-20 rule, like 80% you're giving value and then only 20% you're doing the selling?
The promotion and stuff. Yeah, like you don't want to be always going, buy this, call me now. Like you've still got to have like the call to actions, and my main one is to book a call. Is to book a call with me, and then no obligation, but talk through the stuff, see how I can help you. It might be to go, I think it's something I need, but not yet. Or it might be like, that's exactly what I need. But I want to be providing value, because you don't know when people are finding you. And so they don't know anything about you so you've got to mix it up with answering their questions. It was quite funny. I actually had a shoot last week at a studio, and it was actually a web designer, but she does stuff for allied health. So it was a sort of this in between sort of thing. And I literally had just launched my website. And this booking came straight away. I went, wow, this website's amazing. And it's not been like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I literally, the next day. And she booked a call, and she sent me a message going, when she booked the call, going, that's amazing. Your website's great. It answered all of my questions. I'd like to book this package, please. And I'm like,
fantastic.
oh my God, my
Yeah,
website is great. It works.
Yeah.
But again, she came in and I can't remember where she found me, but, you know, went to the website, found all the information, and booked a call. So it sort of just depends where people find you.
I have to check out your website, see how good it is.
Well, it just depends where people find you. Again, it might be like, oh, okay, that looks good. I'll move on. But if you can scroll through and they can get to know or see your expertise, see your work, like your style, like, you know, just see other things and go, that's what I need.
How do you come up with these packages?
Yeah, I suppose there's different phases that people are at. Some people just need something to get started, or it might be their first venture into photography and they don't want to necessarily then invest too much, or whether it be time or money or whatever, and just go, okay, well, I'm going to get started. So these are the people that might need something like for a Instagram, LinkedIn, about page, website, photo, a few images for their service. Like just thinking of the pages of their website, so they might only need about 15 images, or there's options
like some
more.
Candid shots, some action shots.
Yep, a candid shot, action shot,
team shots,
teen shot, something for a banner, and and then you know, a few different options they can use for social media. So this is what I call my brand essentials package, and it's just it's a 1 hour photo shoot. So I can, again, with any of the photo shoots, I can come to you, or there might be a studio, and then we can work out a location. So it's a good starter package, and it's also usually good for like solo businesses.
Yes.
So it's just for that sort of single person that, again, it might be one person that works out of a consulting room.
Yes.
And it can
do you have to do a lot of cleanup? Like before you come?
There's lots of education prior to their photo shoot. So yeah, because you don't want to be wasting your time just moving stuff.
No,
so I say a lot of clients shoots might be in spaces 3 by 4 meters. And they might just have a desk, a treatment bed, maybe a shelving with some stuff, but I'll make sure it declutter, because I don't want to be coming in and taking posters off the wall. And but you know, they might do the best they can and not realise they think that's clean, and then I'll be like, take that off. But you just don't want clutter in the background of the shot. So there's a lot of education about preparing for the photo shoot, and you know, the types of shots and stuff.
Do you use after post editing tools?
Yeah, like I edit through Lightroom.
Yeah,
it's like the main one.
Take things off, take light switches off.
Oh that sort of stuff. So as best as possible. So you know, I try to do as much so I don't have to do all those things afterwards. Yeah. But light switches annoy me. But you know, there might be certain things in corners that then behind things that doesn't necessarily work to be able to take it out. But to get a nice clean look. So there can be some post-production stuff. So there's like the 1 hour shoot is the brand essentials, and then I've got my 3 hours, sort of like half day shoot, which is my sort of signature package that I sort of do the most. And this is great for teams, multiple staff, or sometimes even if you're a single clinician, but you can get lots of content, different locations, different clients, and so we make sure we get again, headshots, team shots, behind the scene action. So just say if we've had a myotherapy and Pilates studio, we've done, you know, treatments, 3 different, you know, clients, so they have a look at their different demographics of clients, so make sure that's covered. And then all the Pilates and exercise, and so and they walked away then with hundreds of images. So like it's a
do they have to pay extra for those images?
The original package comes with 40 images. And again, that might be enough for some people. They go, okay, that's all, depending on, you know, the type of shoot that we're doing. It might be a lot of content. If you've got like Pilates, different exercises, there's like heaps that you can take. So there's an option to upgrade to full gallery if you wish.
What about competitors? Like, you know, there's a lot of photographers out there.
There's a lot of photographers out there, but no one is doing what
I
I'm
know,
doing.
I know, but you're the only...
Australia's only specialist allied health brand photographer. I have to put that out there. Not to say there aren't photographers that are photographing
everything, but you specialise in that.
And so that's then my different point. I'm sure there's photographers out there that are doing work with physios and osteos and stuff, and that's fine, and that's part of their overall branding. So no one else is just purely specialising in allied health. So I'm putting my branding out there. I'm sponsoring an event this weekend for a osteo business coach who I met last year. That'll be in front of like 40 allied health professionals, and a link through that event last year has led to me being offered a position as a sole photographer at the Physio Symposium conference next year in the Gold Coast with over 400 physios.
Amazing.
So,
that is working upper level, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So this has now been my goal target. So everything I'm doing between now and then is preparing for that next February. So that's a massive opportunity.
Yes.
And you've got some credibility going in as an ex-physio to a conference of physios.
Absolutely.
So they're my people.
How many years have you taken to get up to this point?
So it's probably 3.5.
Yeah.
So I did my course was over a year and a half to 2 years, and then sort of figuring out. It's probably been the last 18 months that I'm sort of going in more strong around the allied health building. So
that is amazing. What's next?
What's next? Gosh, yeah, good question. Oh, you floored me there.
Yeah. Well, you did say that you wanted to get into video.
Well, video, yes, it's expanding into video more. I suppose it's getting that consistency. But again, the conference next year is sort of my first big target. Yes. And then I'll think beyond that afterwards. But I think it's really owning that, Australia, like it's like in manifesting and out that space. So it's getting in with
being that authority, in that space.
People knowing you become that go-to person. Yes. So I suppose I want to get in with like the physio associations. I'm working in like doing some disability stuff as well. So the NDIS space is massive. Yeah.
Are you getting an assistant? Or are you doing this all on your own?
I'm doing it all on my own at this stage. Yep. So I'm working. Part of my next phase in the next 6 months is also about automations and systems processes. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on some stuff so the back end of things is getting more streamlined and how I'm capturing people and nurturing them, but that's again another process to learn. So so the next 6 months is about getting those automations and stuff, so when I get more busy as well that I'm able to manage that. But I'm not against outsourcing. That will be happening in due course. I just need to figure out,
especially when you take on videoing, because that takes a lot of editing time.
The videoing stuff. So that's the next phase. So I'm sure I'll be calling in for some assistance when we get to that.
Wow, that sounds so exciting.
It's a lot.
So what advice would you give to a young photographer?
It's funny because I have to think back. It wasn't that long ago. No. And, I'm still learning and evolving all the time. And I looked up. So I suppose it's just start.
Yeah. Just put yourself out there.
Just start. Just put yourself out there, because you'll look at something a few years ago and go, wow, that's the best photo I've ever taken. Yeah. And that's awesome. Yep. And then 6-12 months later, you'll look back and go, oh, that wasn't very good, but this is the most. So you can sort of see how
your progress,
your progress and your evolve.
Yes.
But also surrounding yourselves with other photographers and stuff that you can bounce ideas off and be almost like a mentor. So early on, there were people in my course I was sort of like stalking and going, oh wow, look at these photographers, they're amazing. But then I realised they're just real.
Are they helpful?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a couple and they were like other brand photographers, and I'm like, but then they ended up almost being like a mentor. I joined a membership. They did some of my photos. Wow. And then had all the years experience and were ahead of me in business. So I had someone to look up to and learn from. Yeah.
Are you in a lot of groups? A lot of business groups, mentorship groups?
I've been in 2 or 3 over the years. So it's just sort of transitions to where you're at and what sort of serves you. But it's just sort of finding.
Do you find them helpful?
Yeah, I think each different group that I've been in has its own different purpose, I suppose. Some had been more, networking, community building and social. Others had been more like business tips. Yeah. Others had been, just different educational stuff, but some social as well. So it's depending.
I think being a sole business, it gets a bit lonely too. Yeah. So you need like other business people.
Well, and just to bounce ideas off and just learn from. But again, like early days, I had no idea about these SEO and business words and all that sort of stuff. And now I'm like, and still learning. But it was all just deer in headlights. And now.
So what did your your friends and family say when you said, I'm going to leave physio and become a photographer?
Oh, look, I talked about it for a while, and to be honest, I was physio and I was a Pilates instructor, so as well, and then had kids, and I'd go back to Pilates and have another kid, and then go back to Pilates.
Yeah.
And then look, it was a juggle with 3 young kids, and then trying to work in between, and it was just getting a bit much anyway. And I'd been looking at the photography course for quite some time, and then there was a point when I'm like, no, this is it. My youngest was only 3, and I'm like, right, I'm going to not be juggling these things back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend more time with my youngest, but be studying my course.
So where did you study?
Time, through the Photography Institute. It was an online course, online diploma, which worked well. I'd been planning to do the online course anyway, just because of the logistics of going somewhere and 3 kids and everything. And then COVID hit.
Yes.
So blessing and a curse, it was an online course anyway.
Yeah.
But doing your diploma during COVID was
with the kids there.
Well, yeah. So I homeschooled 3 kids and got a diploma at the same time. But if we remember, there were masks, there were 1.5 zones, there was 5K zones.
Yes.
So my opportunity to take photos of lots of people was very limited. There was these windows when I could.
Yeah.
But it was also a blessing because it gave me a focus other than just the kids.
Yeah,
so it made me. So I was
keeps you
once
sane.
once I figured out the balance of I'll give you time in the morning and then the afternoon's my time. We eventually worked it out. If I thought I'd be sitting here or I'd be going interstate doing shoots down then or meeting the people I've done or the shoots I've done a few years ago, it's like I'm a whole different person. And like meeting new people, I would have been stuck in the same sort of thing I'd been doing for a long time. So you know,
saying yes to everything.
Saying yes, just going, if not now, when?
Yeah, for sure.
And when you get older, you just go,
well, it's like, if not, you're not getting any younger.
If not now, when? So just don't live with regrets and just have a crack. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least you had a go.
Yeah, you're having more than a go. You're doing really well.
Yeah.
What's the best part of your job?
Oh, the best part of my job. I just love bringing out things in people they don't see in themselves.
Yeah. And how do you do that?
Well, it's just building their confidence. I love just seeing from the beginning of a shoot to the end of the shoot, when then people then are just like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Actually, that was quite fun. So you sort of build that relationship from that first time you talk. And my parents always said to me, when I get excited, I talk really fast, which I'm probably doing now. But yeah, like I'm a people person. I like bringing positive energy, and I like bringing that to them. So then they get excited about something, and then you can
see that in their face.
And just the other day, I was looking back at previous clients. I was just touching base and saying hello, and then I looked on the website and I'm like, oh, there's stuff's there, and it's just I just love them seeing, oh look, they're using that. Oh, that's been updated. Oh, that looks really good. And then when I see stuff on Insta, I'm like, oh, that's my picture. Oh, that's my picture. When people are sharing stuff. So.
I find like a good photographer or videographer is about how you make the subject feel. Rather, that's more important than the talent, because they're relaxed and you can really see inside their soul. Like you can see what's
the sparkle.
in them. Yeah. So that's
and
the best
like
part.
I often say, when I see something, and often there's so many people you go to take their photo and they're having this conversation and they're bubbly, and then you go like this and they go. Ugh. The moment you lift the camera,
the Chandler smile.
They're just like
stiff.
They're like absolutely relaxed, and the moment you lift, they suddenly go just completely.
So do you have a camera that's down here, and then you're not or do you actually lift it up? Do you know how you can flip your screen around?
I usually
do
usually
that.
Lift
Okay,
it up. Sometimes I might do like a cheeky thing, but But no, but it's basically this, like we would just be having a bit of a chat, and then I might be like, oh, try this. And then it's quite funny when I see something, or there's a movement or position or angle, and I'm like, ooh. And I get really excited, and they're like looking at me, like, is that a good or no, that's a good thing. Stay there, don't move. And like I just suddenly, like it could be like they're sitting like this to like this, and I'm like, hold that, and then it makes all the difference.
Yeah,
so
because they're not models, everyday person.
I love not working models. With models. Well, it's funny, you come from more fashion background. I'm not really a fashion person. Like I've done a couple of things, and I actually enjoyed it when I've done it. Yeah. From a creative side, it's different.
I love working with non-models. A lot of my girls are very natural. I get my girls just from you know, seeing their videos on TikTok or whatever, or friends of friends, and yeah, I just give everyone a go, like, and I love it because they get the photos back or they get the videos back, and they are so surprised. They're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know I could do that," and you know, just to bring that out of them is really nice.
Like you're sort of buzzed after
after a shot,
shoot,
especially if you made them feel really good, you feel really good.
Yeah, and then like when I first get home and download them, like straight away, and then it's like, and I always just like as soon as I get home, it's.
There must be so many that you have to go through, and just being so selective, that must be really hard.
Yeah, well, some of those big shoots I might have taken like 800 photos or something. It's a lot.
Yes.
And there's a lot of culling because, you know, you move this and angles and all that to work. So, and that's, you know, some software that I might look into to help me with that, which I haven't got yet, but it's on the pathway. So there will be a lot of culling, but then you'd be like, ooh. Amazing. Yeah. So those, I love going in and just doing the quick cull first, and then just get the main images, and then you start the tweaking and finding the, you know, the gems in there.
Yeah. But, what are your pain points? What have you got to improve on?
Videos where the next step up. So it's not as natural for me. But I know it's an essential sort of next step, and I can see, you know, it's what people need and want. So I'm sort of servicing what people need.
Of course.
But with like anything, I've got to move with the time. It's got to put me out of my comfort zone, but again, just start.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, start with more basic sort of offerings, and then sort of work from there. So I suppose that's the next point for me.
Amazing. Well, watch your space.
Watch your space.
Well, thank you for coming in. That's very insightful.
No worries. All good. Thank you for having me.